Month 5. I just shot this entire video, by the way, without realizing I didn't have my mic on, so here we go again. Month 5. It's been a crazy ride. We'll call January to May, the first 5 months of my real estate career, chapter 1. And in chapter 1, we were able to close a total of 17 transactions, plus another one that was double-ended off market. 16 leases, all representing the tenant. We had one buy, which I helped buy myself and my girlfriend a house. I honestly didn't think I would make a single dollar in the first 6 months, but we've made pretty decent income. So for the first 5 months, I would call it a tremendous success. I've been able to help a lot of people find their house, and we're compounding. We got the momentum going into chapter 2. Month 5 in May, we'll call that the start of chapter 2. Now, this month so far has been quite hectic. It's a transitionary period, right? In the beginning of May, the first month, I actually had a marathon. So for the first week of May, I didn't train like the previous months because I was like procrastinating, didn't want to really train. So for the last week, I did last minute training, and that week I was pretty useless, didn't really help my clients as much as I could have. And then I ran the marathon on the 7th, and like for the next 7 and 10 days, I was useless, couldn't really walk. I was like hobbling around my showings, had the post-marathon blues. So I was pretty down. And on top of that, marathon is the 7th. I was closing and moving into my new house on May 9th. So, and also we had to leave our condo May 1st and move to my aunt's house in Oakville. So we packed up all our stuff in the condo, moved to my aunt's house in Oakville, got a U-Haul, moved all of it there, moved once because we had to get a tenant in for May 1st. And our house wasn't ready here in Stouffville until May 9th. So then we had to move again from my aunt's house in Oakville to Stouffville 9 days later. So I worked at my aunt's house and lived in my aunt's house for 9 days. We moved again May 9th. And for the last, after the next, May 9th, call it the next, actually still, we were unpacking, building furniture. Well, my girlfriend was building the furniture. I was mostly taking the garbage and the recycling out. She's better at that stuff than I am. But regardless, it was a lot of energy, huge transitionary period, but we are finally settled in. We still have to get some artwork, some plants, and fill out some spaces a little more beautifully and better, but our home base is pretty much operational to start chapter 2. We also went back to Ottawa for the May long weekend to relax for a couple of days, play some golf, and we had some furniture that we were storing in my parents' basement, so we brought that back as well. And I also got a car, decided to end up leasing a car so that I could have consistent tax write-offs as a self-employed person and not drain up all my cash, because cash is king right now. So that has been pretty much it. I mean, it's been a lot of non-real estate stuff, life stuff in the month of May, but luckily one of the benefits of being a real estate agent, being self-employed, is you work on your own schedule. So I didn't have to take any additional clients if I didn't want to, which is definitely a blessing because I, to be honest, right now am exhausted. Now, in terms of the rental market, we were able to close on an additional just one lease this month, and I was able to do it from my aunt's house in Oakville, and it was really amazing because she didn't have an income, and we were able to get the deal done regardless. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, the rental market is fucked right now. In February up to April, we were banging out rentals like crazy. If you had a good income and a good credit, you would find a place pretty easily. Now it's like you book a showing and there's 4 registered offers already. Or you try to put an offer in and you're competing with other people and there's just no supply. Everyone's already moved in. There's so many people coming into the country and into Toronto specifically. The new builds haven't really finished, so supply is capped, but demand is so high. People have already moved in and there's just not a lot of inventory right now. So prices are pretty crazy in the rental market. Honestly, it's crazy. It's really hard to get tenants a place. People might have to start paying more, which they already are, which is pretty crazy. But another reason might be, I'm in Stouffville, so I'm not as efficient. I gotta go 40 minutes downtown, whereas before I can do a showing downtown on a moment's notice. So maybe that's another reason why I'm not getting as many rentals done, but regardless, the rental market is absolutely crazy right now in downtown Toronto. So crazy, as a matter of fact, that I had a client who was looking for a rental. He was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna buy a house because he has the salary, he has the mortgage pre-approval, and he has the down payment. So why not build equity? If you're like a nomad and you're like, I don't want to buy, I want to like move to Costa Rica next year or Florida or wherever, then sure, I get it. Home ownership may not be for you. But if you know you're going to be in Canada for the long term and you can get the mortgage pre-approval and you have the down payment, why not start building equity? So kudos on him, smart play, and hopefully we can find him a house soon. We're actually in the middle of the offer process right now. So I'll keep you posted on that. And speaking of buying, this is where my energy's at right now. I go outside, I'm in the suburbs, just like in my childhood. I see houses everywhere, for sale signs everywhere. And like when I was living downtown Toronto for all my 20s, I never really saw that, right? Because it's just all condo, huge condos. There's never any like for sale signs. You're not reminded of the real estate market in the same way that you are when you're living in the suburbs. Everywhere there's like bus ads, signs, billboards, for sale signs. It's like, oh, right, people are buying and selling real estate. And even though it's happening downtown Toronto, you're just not as aware, consciously aware. So because of that, I'm constantly reminded, and that's where I'm going to put my energy, helping more buyers. I'll still help lease clients for sure. But for sure now that's where my energy is, helping buyers find their dream homes. Last thing as we begin chapter 2, I did photography for a while in 2019, 2020. I traveled the world for a year and did photography. I had maybe like 20,000 photos from all over the world on hard drives. And I carried it in my camera bag. And when I was in Montreal a year ago, someone smashed into my car and stole all my camera gear. So I thought I lost all of those photos. Luckily, when I was unpacking, I found a backup hard drive. I don't know what's in here. I will open it up, but essentially this is the gateway to me starting photography again. I'm going to start photographing real estate. Maybe I'll get a drone, videography, and I'll add that to my skill tree as a real estate agent going forward. So that's it. That's my update for month 5. I'll keep it nice and short. My dog is crying outside. She needs to go potty. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.